Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back. I have been on Operation Get Some Rest all day. And I have been consumed with napping, dawdling, and binge watching. I've been watching Mindhunter on Netflix, the first season. It's pretty good. Check it out if you get a moment. Also, while we're here, if you're new to my channel and you are looking for a tribe, please hit that subscription bell. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe, our tribe. As well as the notification bell. Don't forget that thumbs up. Everybody knows that's like saying, hey, Miss Honey. As well as comment down below. I've got a very dense headache that's just persisting. I don't know why it won't go away. But anyway, let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. It was so anticlimactic and anticlimactic. It just, the commercials from the previews from last week for this week kind of led us to believe that there was going to be something significant that was going to go on between Gizelle and Robyn. And honestly, that just fell flat. Katie did not wear her wig for this entire episode. I mean, when they sort of came into the episode, they sort of recapped and tied up the night from the night before, and she had her wig on then. But the next morning, all the ladies they don't go snorkeling, they go to swim with the stingrays, and they go to do water skiing, with the jet skis, and they go to have lunch, and the wig was not present for any of that. And it leads me to believe that the wig is Katie's superpower. Without that wig, she was a wilting flower. Like, she was not doing good. And it was one thing after another. Like, she just wasn't feeling her best, her stomach wise. Ashley did say some really, really horrible things to her, and she does have a lot of stuff going on. And it's difficult to try and enjoy yourself and have a good time and, be that fun that everybody wants when you got a lot on your mind and a lot on your heart. But the wig was really able to help Katie make it through. Well, Katie didn't wear that wig when they went out. She couldn't bring herself to put that wig on. And without that wig, she was just not able to put on a fun face for the girls. She just was not able to do it. So we see Katie throughout this episode just get smaller and smaller and smaller. And to me, she appeared to be, which I don't know, I find very, very scary, someone who's able to just kind of fake it with you and move you past the situation, get you, redirect you in a situation. And Katie did that a lot during this episode. When the girls kind of tried to pin her down a little bit, she gave them what they wanted, gave them what they needed, moved past them, all of that. When they went to swim with the stingrays, it was Ashley that came back up to check on the boat, to check on Katie and see if she wanted to come down and get in the water. And Katie was like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just trying to get my life, get myself together. And it was at that time that Ashley apologized, and Katie was like, okay, cool, squashed, right? Like, squash, we good, like, move on past it. She wasn't finna get into this back and forth with Ashley. First of all, Ashley had already shown her that she was the type of arguer that was very, very vicious, was very, very hurtful. And so her already having a lot going on, she didn't want to get into it with her. Later on, they go and jet skiing. I don't think Katie jet skied at all. Then they go and eat lunch, and I barely remember a peep out of Katie at lunch. Later on, when they get back to the resort, Robyn lets them know they're going to meet up at 6. Katie shows up at Robyn's room a little bit earlier than the dinner time, and she was dressed super, super casual. It just did not look like Katie planned to come on this trip. It didn't look like Katie planned to come on this trip. One, because she was wearing her everyday wig, not her vacation wig. But two, just her attire just looks like somebody drove by her house and was like, I'll be there in 5 minutes, throw some stuff in the bag, you going to the Cayman Islands. And that's how Katie looked this whole trip. She comes to Robyn's room, and I mean, Robyn is guesstimating by how she looks, but she knows she's got to go and she's got to say something to them. I don't know why she has her handbag, why she has sneakers on, and I don't know if she had gone somewhere and then just stopped by the office, or stopped by Robyn's on her way back, or what. I mean, and so she just let them know she was, she doesn't know if it was seasickness or not. Ashley is there, of course. Her and Robyn are sharing a suite. She doesn't know if it was seasickness. She's never gotten that sick. And Robyn was like, well, the ride wasn't that choppy. Do you think you could be pregnant? And Katie's like, well, I don't know. I'm not. And, of course, Ashley was down for this conversation. She wanted to know if they practiced the POM, which is a pull-out method. And she was like, no. They were like, well, birth control? She was like, no. They were like, abstinence? She was like, mm-mm. They were like, well, do you feel like you felt before when you was pregnant? She was like, I'm not even sure I remember being... Like, she just was so oblivious. She was not going to be pinned down. And Katie's a brutally honest individual. She was purposely being phony and fake with these girls and moving them through conversation. Later on, after everybody had gone out to dinner and they came back to Katie's room, Candiace and Karen came to Katie's room and just to check on her. When she came to the door, she had on a coat, she had on a scarf, she was fully dressed, and she stood in the doorway of the room. She did not let them in. Fine. Oh, much better. I'm feeling much better. And it was Karen that pointed out, yeah, she do look much better, but why was she dressed? Why was she dressed in a jacket and a scarf and just like, yeah, Katie was about to abscond on these fools, right? I don't know if she stayed gone. We will not see that until next week. But Gizelle came around the corner and was like, this was after dinner. The next morning, Candiace and Ashley decided to spend some alone time together, and Ashley forced yoga on Candiace. She loved to think she know what's best for everybody. So anyway, she got Candiace down there on the beach doing yoga. Gizelle run up and, y'all seen Katie? They were like, no. She was like, I went to her room, her door was open and all her things are gone. I went down to the front desk and asked if she had checked out. They didn't say that she had checked out. They said she hadn't checked out, but she's gone. She's gone, you guys. And that's actually how the episode ended. But I just wanted to point out, one, Katie is not 1/10 of herself without her wig. to whatever Katie's got going on. She has made up her mind that she need to get this Bravo check, and she need to move through these last few little tapings. The way she handled these girls, it was beautifully done in terms of just, not getting pinned down. Like she told Robyn and Ashley before dinner, she said if she feels better, if I feel better in the next couple of hours, I'll come down to meet you guys. She was just pacifying them. To me, it's kind of frightening that an individual can be, and I mean, I guess it's proof that they don't really know each other. Like they don't have a sincere relationship with one another, because I would have been like, girl, what is going on? No, darling, no. Your energy is down. Like you just, something is going on, friend. Tell me what's happening. Like she was able to move through them quite nicely, actually, just by being quiet and playing sick, and she slipped right out on them. I think that's scary. You see these types of behaviors a lot in people who end up trying to hurt themselves, or actually do hurt themselves to the point of their own demise. You guys know what I'm talking about. You kind of see this. That's why it scares me, is because she wasn't really on anybody's radar per se. She was able to schmooze her way through that day. Not even schmooze, but she was just able to lay low, because everybody else was having fun and having a good time, and they, nobody really wants to be sad or sick, or be with the sick or the sad. So it's scary. It's scary that a person can smile and laugh and talk, and you have no idea just how bad off they really, really are. So I just wanted to point that little bit out. Anyway, well, so we do get to see Candiace and Ashley try to make some amends. They were super close at the Stingray swim, and of course it got a little heated at Gizelle's behest at lunch, when she was like, well, it's got so good, refreshing to see you two getting along, and I just hope, like, she had nothing to do with the fact that they weren't getting along. Like, she wasn't stoking those fires at all along. So I'm just so proud of y'all for bringing it full circle and getting along. And then, of course, Candiace wanted to make a point that she had done some things that she thought was inappropriate, but she felt like Ashley should apologize too. Ashley did not feel like she should apologize, but she did eventually go ahead and give her half of a sorry. And the next morning at Gizelle's behest, she said, you guys need to spend some time together. You know what I mean? Spend some time together alone. Maybe in the morning, maybe for breakfast. And that's how the yoga situation came up. Now, mind you, I just feel like the same thing Ashley is saying about Katie, I really, really thought we were friends. I feel like Candiace is kind of saying the same thing too. Like, it's stupid. What they're arguing about is stupid, but it's a storyline. Then we get to see where Gizelle goes to Robyn's room and talks with Robyn and Ashley about, while they're having breakfast the next morning after Robyn arrived, about Ladon perfume. Is it a reveal? And Robyn is saying in the confessional she never thought that this was going to happen with Karen, because Karen's so hush-hush about the fragrance, but she was so hush-hush because of how y'all did her in prior seasons. Okay, so let's not act Robyn. But it's Gizelle, of course, that wants to take it so far. She feels like with all the conversation, that the little bits of snippet of information that Karen has given the ladies, that she's decided that Karen doesn't own her own company. She doesn't own the whole Ladom fragrance situation, that she's just the face of Ladom. And she had a rollerball, which is the sample perfume that all the ladies are gonna get. Karen mentioned that it was gonna be in rollerball form, so not the actual perfume bottle, but some rollerball samples that they can take with them and live with it and try the fragrance out, and and see how it lasts and that type of thing. Well, Gizelle has a separate perfume. It's not Ladom. It's a different kind of perfume in rollerball form. And she says when she goes to the party, she gonna take that Ladom and just roll it on and roll it on and just really, 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 really be extra. And so Robyn was like, yeah, that is kind of extra. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lay it on thick. And this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. And I was like, you guys know you're adults. You don't have to follow Gizelle's lead. Gizelle is always working as hard as she can to get up under Karen's skin, because Karen is a safe place to be messy, basically. And so yeah, the girls had interesting conversation at lunch, but it really was much of nothing. When they get to dinner, they are talking about different situations, different setup, Robyn and Juan's situation, and how Juan told Ray or somebody that he wanted to put a ring on Robyn's finger, and Gizelle's like, oh, are we there yet? Is it, and somebody else was like, maybe he wants to get a little girl, and she was like, I'm not trying to have any more kids. So there's a possibility that they may get back together and get married. Everybody knows that you don't put any of your eggs. Don't worry about all eggs. Don't put any of your eggs in the Juan and Robyn basket, because that basket has no bottom on it. Okay, it looks like there's a bottom, but there's no bottom. Whatever you put in there will fall flat. Okay, then they got on Chris in the cookbook, which is Candiace's husband, and is he almost done? The cookbook should be done by the end of the year. And then, of course, Ashley wants to jump in and give her advice about how she can get her name on the cookbook and be a part of any and all revenue streams that he have coming in. That's basically what it was. And I agree with Karen. Basically, you trying to teach her how to be a gold digger. And all the ladies was like, that's her husband. That's her husband. That's her husband. And Candiace was like, no, I'm supporting him. This is his project, this is his baby, and I'm supporting him in his endeavors. And she was like, well, yeah, no, I was just trying to, no, you just trying to tell her how you doing it. Okay, she doesn't want an arrangement with her husband. She wants an actual marriage with her husband, Ashley. Surprise, surprise. Okay, surprise, surprise. She wants to actually be in love with her husband. It's revolutionary. Oh. Anyway, that's basically what happened on Real Housewives of Potomac. I really, really feel like we can wrap this up now, especially since Power is back. Yes, I'm doing a review for Power. It won't be tonight. I'll tell you that. It won't be tonight. I've already watched the episode once, but good gracious alive. Oh, they get on my nerves. I might try. But anyway, that's it for Real Housewives of Potomac. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Out.